let's talk about marriage, and specifically marriage after you have your babies, and the importance of having and maintaining a strong marriage. So I have for you 5 tips that can help you strengthen that marriage again now that you've had your kiddos and you're ready to reclaim that marriage and find the love again. Hey mama, are you struggling with how to make time for yourself as a work-at-home mom? Are you drowning in laundry, dishes, poopy diapers, and kids who are constantly screaming, Mom, even though they're 5 feet away from you? I get it. I'm Jessa, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood, where I want to help you set priorities, create boundaries, ask for help, and learn to love yourself in motherhood again. You can show up for you without sacrificing motherhood and without the guilt. So if you're ready to be caught up in motherhood, then go grab a fresh cup of coffee and that laundry basket sitting in the corner. Don't worry, I've got mine too. And listen in to today's episode. Okay, marriage after your kiddos. I don't know about you, but when you become a new mom or you have that new baby again, sometimes your marriage can get put on the back burner. You are so consumed with taking care of baby, figuring out this new normal, that you can sometimes push marriage, push your spouse to the side, and you don't nurture that relationship anymore. And it becomes this relationship of necessity, of fulfilling a need. Whether that's, needing help with something around the house or taking turns taking care of the kids, whose turn is it to go to baseball practice and whose turn is it to make dinner or fold the laundry and so on. And it becomes less of a courtship and, love and marriage, and becomes more of a working relationship, or for some even feels like another kid that you're taking care of and not necessarily a partner or a spouse. So I want to talk to you about a couple of ways, 5 specifically, 5 tips that I have for you to have a stronger marriage. And these are great for after babies, these are great for before babies, these tips are just great for marriage in general. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it. Right? The first tip, biggest one of the most important, is going to be communication. You can't have a relationship without communication. You need to be able to express yourself, and you need to be able to listen and hear what the other person is saying. It's not one-sided. You can't just expect them to read your mind and know what you need, and they can't expect you to read their minds and know what they need either. So communication is so important, and we need to be checking in with each other. Those simple questions of how was your day? And actually listening, putting down the phone, and hearing what it is that they have to say. And there's also that little bit of texting back and forth, maybe throughout the day, of little things like, I love you, I miss you, hope you're having a good day, or letting them know something fun or cute the kids did, or sending them a little picture every now and again. And I want you, when I say that, I want you to kind of think about it for a minute. When was the last time you texted your spouse, I love you, or I miss you? And if you can't think about it, you can't think about the last time you actually sent that kind of a text, then you definitely need to consider doing that again. It's those little gestures of saying, I love you, I miss you, how's your day, that can build over time, that shows the other person that you care. That shows that you're still interested in the relationship and that you want to nurture it, right? It's those little rays of sunshine as if this is a plant, right, that you're going to be giving to the relationship. So don't forget to send those little texts and continue to communicate with your spouse. Okay, that's the first one. Second tip is date your spouse again. It is so important to continue to date. And you don't have to do these big extravagant dates where you get all dressed up and you go spend $200-$300 or more on a dinner and an outing and a babysitter and clothes and shoes, the whole thing. You can date at home. If you're in this season of life where you have babies and you're not ready necessarily to leave that baby, or it's just too difficult to get a babysitter right now, then date at home. Put the kids to bed, take that hour, and spend time together. Have bowls of ice cream together. Have a beer, glass of wine. Sit outside as it gets warmer on the patio or on your deck or wherever. Light that fire. Just be together, the two of you, doing something relaxing, something that you enjoy doing, that does not involve your phones or some sort of screen, and just connect, talk. Like, really think about that for a second. When was the last time that you and your spouse actually sat down and talked about something other than the kids, the bills, the to-do list, the house? When was the last time you talked about your dreams, the future, something funny that you saw, the TikTok video you saw yesterday, whatever? When was the last time you had that deeper connection? Okay? Now go do it. Make those plans for that date, whether it's at home or you have the means to be able to go out and have a coffee date or a dinner date, movie date, whatever. Like, more power to you, mama. I'm not in that stage right now, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you don't need to do dates at night. Do a lunch date. My husband and I went out on a date for our anniversary in January, and we did a lunch date because we had a newborn. And my mother-in-law was willing to babysit. Bless her. She babysits all the time, and I am so appreciative of that. And she babysat the kids, and we did a lunch date. It was great. You're not 19 anymore. You're not 21 and single or dating anymore. And with that comes the changing to your relationships and how you view them and how you nurture them. And there's nothing wrong with a lunch date. There's nothing wrong with a brunch date. That would be fun, going for brunch. Mother's Day is around the corner. I know that that's a big deal, brunches. So, just remember, dates can be more than what you see or what you think about in regards to dinner dates. Are you lost in motherhood and feeling overwhelmed with managing it all? The house, the kids, the running around, and everything in between. You're just so tired that the thought of taking time for yourself is simply exhausting. So instead, you numb out on social media and eat those snacks that are hiding in the back of the freezer. And while you're doing this, you're beating yourself up and comparing yourself to the others that you see online, wondering, why can't I do that? Why doesn't my house look like that? And then you go to bed and you tell yourself you'll do better tomorrow. Tomorrow, you'll take some time for yourself. Tomorrow, you'll go to bed early. Tomorrow, you'll plan a date night. But tomorrow never comes. Those promises that you keep making to yourself, they don't happen because you keep doing the same thing over and over again, just like yesterday, but you're expecting different results. I know this feeling. I have been there. I have been lost in these moments of feeling inadequate in loving my kids and wanting to provide for them in the best way possible, but feeling like I'm failing, like I'm not doing enough. I'm not good enough. You are not alone, Mama. I see you, and I want to help you get past this, get past these negative feelings and thoughts. I want to see you thrive in your motherhood journey and own this season that you're in. I want to help you see the positive in the everyday and enjoy the little moments and learn how to support yourself again. I want to be your best mom friend next door, whose door is always open, the iced coffee is always ready, and that porch swing is always swinging. I am here to guide you through the tough days because, Mama, I've been there. I know what you're feeling, and it's okay. These feelings are valid, but it's how we respond to them that can change the course of our day. Now, Mama, this right here, these feelings that you're experiencing right now, this is why I created my Mama Connection Coaching. I want to help mamas like you, mamas like me, mamas that want to do it all, that know that it starts with them and how they talk to themselves. Mamas that know that you can do it. You just need a little help, a little encouragement to get started. So what do you say? Are you ready to come knock on my door and start connecting with yourself again? Are you ready to feel caught up in your motherhood journey, to know that you got this? Then I encourage you, Mama, to book a Mama Connection coaching call today so that tomorrow can come and you will be ready and you got this. Now, this third one, I'm probably going to have some of you scoff at me, but hear me out, okay? No TVs in the bedroom. Yep. No TVs in the bedroom. Your bedroom is a place for relaxation and connection, okay? You do not need to be connecting with the TV. All it does is prevent you from, one, sleeping because it's there, it's bright, it's on, it's noisy, it's annoying, it's an eyesore. It doesn't need to be in the bedroom. And then it also prevents that connection with your spouse. And that connection is very important. You cannot have a TV in your bedroom. It just prevents things. It stops communication. It stops your ability to sleep through the night. It interferes so much. Leave it in the living room. Take it out of the bedroom. And see how your relationship changes. Okay? When we have the ability to have a screen in front of our face, it can be so hard to put it down, right? It's addicting. It catches your eye, it's attention grabbing, and we need to be able to put the screens away for a little bit, especially before bed. It just messes with your ability to fall asleep, and it messes with your ability to stay asleep longer. And as parents, we're not getting that much sleep in the first place. So why would we want to mess with the little bit of sleep we are getting by having screens in the bedroom? Now, I say screens, so I'm also going to talk about phones in the bedroom. Now, obviously, you're going to have your phone on your nightstand. We all do it. It's there. It's where it charges. You need to be connected. What if something happens? I get it. Okay? My phone's on my nightstand. Not going to lie. It's there. But do you need to be on it before bed? Can you and your spouse consciously make the choice to try and not have your phones before bed. To, when you go to bed, have 15 minutes of no screen time. Like whenever you go to bed, whatever it is, just no screen time. Maybe read a book, maybe the two of you talk. But if you feel like you need to do something before bed, read a book, have a conversation. Do not scroll on social media right before you go to bed. Do not play a game on your phone right before you go to bed. If you're going to do those things, do them somewhere else in the house. But when you go to bed, let that be what that space is for. Okay? Your brain associates certain things with certain spaces, right? You smell something and it brings back a memory. You see something and it brings back a memory, or it makes you think about certain things. Your bedroom should be meant for certain things. And one of those things is not screen time or working. You shouldn't be working in your bedroom if you can help it. I know that's where some of our offices are, but if you can help it, it shouldn't be there, because it makes you think about it. It reminds you of the things that you need to get done. Okay, going off on a tangent there about bedrooms. Let's see, that was 3. Number 4. No sleeping on the couch. Yeah. Yep. So when you get into an argument or you have a discussion that you don't agree with, it can be tempting to tell your spouse or for you yourself to go sleep on the couch. And I get it. Very tempting. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go to bed angry. Try your best to talk it out. And if you can't talk it out in that moment, table it. Pause it. Come back to it later. Right? If you're one of those people like me who needs time to process and think before you necessarily speak, or in this case have an argument or a discussion about something, then take that time. Have that little bit of a quarrel, that little bit of an argument, and then pause it. If you need to go to bed at that point, go to bed, but do not send somebody to the couch. Okay? You need to go to bed in the same bed at night. There's just something about that connection of being in the same space that's important. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to cuddle and you need to be touching or anything like that. You can be in the same bed. Okay? The whole point of this is you don't go to bed angry. You don't hold on to that while you're trying to go to bed and trying to sleep, because sleep is so important and your relationship is important, and you need to be able to disagree about something and have that conversation and be able to move forward. So, no couches. You sleep in your bed. Okay, 5th one, last one. This is more of a reminder, okay? Marriage is not 50-50. Marriage is not 50-50. And what I mean by that is marriage is not equal. There are going to be seasons and moments in your life where it's going to be more about him, or seasons where it's going to be more about you. For example, having the baby, having the kids. That season, it's going to be more about you and baby than it's going to be about him and his needs. And then there could be a season where maybe he has a surgery, or he is going to have difficulties at work, and you're going to need to support him more in those moments than maybe he's going to support you at that time. Right? So there will also be these times in your life, and you'll know them better than I will, where you're going to realize that this season is about this person. You, your spouse, your kids, the dog, the cat, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that we get so caught up in thinking that everything needs to be fair. He gets this, so I get this. They did that, so I get to do this. That we don't really think about how life isn't fair. And life is not 50-50, so it's the same concept. Marriage is not going to be 50-50. But if you're accepting of that and open to knowing that, then you're okay with it. You can handle it. You can go into that season of it being unequal, knowing that it's temporary, knowing that your spouse had a surgery or is in a rough patch at work and you need to be a little bit more supportive right now and take on more of the burden at home, or just be there for him mentally and know that it's temporary because you're helping him get through this. You know, a death in the family, a change in career, whatever it might be. You know, and same goes for you, that he knows that he needs to be there for you for those same kinds of things. And that eventually you'll get back to a new normal, whatever that looks like for the two of you. But you need to keep in mind and go into your marriage realizing that it's not going to be equal. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. It shouldn't really be equal. I think it would get boring, to be honest. I think it would get really boring if it was equal, like to the T. What you did, he did kind of thing. Like, ugh, so boring. So those are my 5 tips. 5 tips for a stronger marriage. Now, to reiterate them quickly for you, we talked about communication, and texting a little bit more is one way that you can improve communication, but remembering that communication is so important in strengthening your relationship and strengthening your marriage. And you need to talk about things outside of the kids, the house, the bills, the jobs, in essence. Talk about the fun stuff too. Your dreams, your aspirations, all that. Okay? Number 2 is date your spouse. Go on dates again. Remember, those can be lunch dates. Number 3 was no TV in the bedroom. No screens before bed. Number 4 was no sleeping on the couch. So no going to bed angry. And number 5 was marriage is not 50-50. So you keep those 5 things in mind and implement a couple of those as well. You'll have a stronger marriage. You'll have stronger communication. And I think you'll be happier for it too. Because you can't have happy family life. You can't take care of your kids, take care of yourself without the whole picture working. And your marriage or spouse is a part of that. They're a part of you. And we need to take time to really hone in on those things. And I can tell you from experience that these things are important. And they're very helpful for your relationship. My husband and I have been together for 13 years. Okay? We've been through a lot. Lots of family things, lots of work things, career changes, depression issues, anxiety issues, communication issues. We've been through a lot, okay? And I'm sure you and your spouse have been through a lot too. And remember that. You've survived it because you were together. You were a team. You were one. United front. Okay? So, keep these 5 tips in mind. And don't forget, Mama, that you got this. Hey, Mama. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I know you have a lot going on, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen. I hope this episode gave you new energy to tackle the day. If so, could you leave a review and subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode? That would mean the world to me. I'd also love to connect with you on Instagram, so send me a DM and let me know if this episode was helpful. I love hearing from you. Remember, Mama, you got this. Until next time, I'm Jessa Ray, and this is Caught Up in Motherhood.